Hello everyone. Today I'm going to explain and demonstrate our midterm laboratory 2 in our Python class. This system is a simple CLI system. CLI means it runs in the command line interface, no GUI. It is a simple user registration system. It is divided into several parts, but not too complex. Let's begin with the first line. Here, this is just a print statement for user registration formatting style so that we can have a pseudo GUI vibe or GUI look. Here we have a full name variable. We will accept input, a string input from the user where he or she can enter his or her name. Here is a user type variable, accepts input string if he or she is an admin user, admin or a regular user. And here we have a function here. This function checks for the password, define keyword, check password function name, and the password parameter. Here we have a special characters variable. It contains all special characters in our keyword in a string. Enclosed in a string, double quotations. We will use this in order to check if the input password has any or at least one of these special characters. We will need this because using at least one special character is required in order to successfully create a password. Here, we will check the length first. The length must be greater than 8 or at least 8. If length password is less than 8, print password is too short, must at least 8 characters. It will then return false. As if length password is greater than or equals to 15, that is enough for a password to be successfully created. It will then print strong password length, 15 or more characters. Else, it will print normal password length, 8 to 14 characters. Here, we will then check for an uppercase. At least one uppercase is required. If not any character is upper, this is a function that checks if any character in the string is in uppercase. For characters in password, this is the variable where the user inputted or inputs his string password earlier. We have print password must contain at least one uppercase letter. It will then return false. Here, we will also check lowercase. If not any character is lower, this is also a function that checks for any small or lowercase character in the password variable. It will then print password must contain at least one lowercase letter. It will then return false. Here, we will now check special characters. This is why we have this special character variable. If not any, char, which is character in special characters, this one, it checks for any of this, at least one. For char in password, it will check it from the password input from the user. Print password must contain at least one special character. For many of this, it will then return false. Now check if at least one number exists. We need at least one for the password to be created. If not any, char is digit. This is again a function to check if any digit exists in the string input. For char in password input, it will then print password must contain at least one number. It will then again return false. If all checks passed, it will return to true. And with the continuation, we have our function for user registration now. Define user registration. The user only has 3 attempts. After 3 failed attempts, the system will terminate and close. The user can no longer register. He or she needs to rerun the system after that. While attempts is greater than 0, print you have variable attempts, this one, attempts left to create a valid account. Here we have a username variable that accepts the input username. password that accepts the password. Here we have a if-else condition. It will call the check password function that we created earlier here. This one. Where are we? If check password, it will then, we have here confirm password. Oh yeah, confirm password. This is a variable. The user needs to retype his or her password again using this line. And now we have check if both passwords match from the first input password with the second input password. If password is equals to confirm password, it will then print passwords do not match. Please try again. This is not equal. Attempts minus equals 1. It will reduce the attempts here until you reach 0. Else print registration successful, welcome, then the username variable here from this one. And if this gets successful or this gets executed, we will encounter a break line here. Break means it will ignore the rest of the code. It will end here. Else, print password does not meet requirements. Please try again. It will also do an attempts minus equals 1. It will be deducted from the attempts here until you reach 0. Else, print too many failed attempts. Registration failed. This will get triggered if all attempts in the attempts variable gets down to 0. Here we just have a user registration function call, which is this one. And for our output, this is the final output. Let me just zoom out a bit. Here we have user registration. Enter your full name, the name of the user, enter the type of user, and admin. You have 3 attempts left to create a valid account. Enter username, the name, the password. This is an intentionally wrong password. No uppercase, no lowercase. No uppercase, all lowercase, but no special characters. But it stays normal password length. Oh, I think we have one uppercase character. Oh, no. Normal password length. Yeah, it is a normal password, 8 to 14 characters. But we don't have any uppercase letter here. That's why we have a password must contain at least 1 uppercase letter. Password does not meet requirements. Please try again. Since this happened, our attempts now reduced to 2 from the default 3. You have 2 attempts left to create a valid account. The second attempt, enter username, enter the password. Now we have an uppercase letter here, but we still don't have any special characters. Normal password length, 8 to 14. Password must contain at least 1 special character. Password does not meet requirements. Please try again. And again, another deduction from our attempts. You have 1 attempt left to create a valid account. For the third attempt, the user now enters again his username, enter his password, which has an uppercase letter now, a special characters, this is @ and an exclamation mark, and a number. Normal password length, 8 to 14, and since all conditions met, 1 uppercase, at least 1 lowercase, at least 1 special character, at least 1 number. Confirm your password, same password, registration successful, welcome the user. And here's the actual code. Let me just zoom out of it. Again, the system runs successfully, no warnings or errors encountered. That's all. Thank you for watching.